How y'all doing? And thanks for tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, wave runners, motorcycles, hoverboards, and 2022 F-150s, just like this one right here. Now this truck is near and dear to my heart. It happens to be a 4-door, 6'6", which is the longer bed for the F-150, and the 5-liter Coyote motor. Just an all-around great work truck package. What we got going on this one right here, this is a simple non-factory build. What I mean by that is no factory lights were adjusted or modified in this build whatsoever. Everything is an aftermarket product that's put on the truck. So if you want an aftermarket build, you don't want to mess around with anything factory, watch this video and stay tuned. We're going to go over everything on this truck. Now, as far as colors, we've got a little bit of amber white in the front and a little bit of amber white in the back. To start off with in the front there, that is a 4-inch mpower quick mount, which is the VHB high intensity tape mount strobe light. It's a 2-color light, amber and white. You can flash it amber, steady burn it white if you wanted to put in a secondary switch. You can also flash it white only if you really prefer. But as you see here, these are synchronized together. They're flashing amber and white, and the color pattern that you're looking at is called intercycle. One of the lights is set as alternate on the pattern intercycle. Working our way around the side of the truck, you're going to begin to see that 3-inch all amber mpower in the side badge. I got a great tutorial on how to mount that mpower in the badge without damaging the badge at all. So if you decided to trade the truck in, you could always remove it. Fast fact about the front grille mount, same thing. You can remove that without any damage to the grille. You don't need to make any holes. It's actually just mounted right on the current octagon portion of the grille, or the rectangular portion of the grille rather, and it sticks with that. We put a little silicone RTV on the back to further ensure a nice tight grip. Same thing on the badge. It sticks to the plastic badge mesh with the VHB mount, and we put a little silicone through the badge from the back to ensure a nice tight grip. We went with amber in this particular application, but we do sell that 3-inch mpower in the badge in amber, amber white, as well as red white. And we can get it in any other color if you want, so just email in if you have a special need. We went with amber on this build. You can also choose one of many patterns. The pattern that you see right there is just the default pattern. It comes set on a nice triple flash, 75 FPM, very common pattern. You might also notice a little bit of the side warning being effective from our hideaways, which we put in that factory taillight. Now, this is a plain Jane truck, so it doesn't have any bliss or radar in the rear tails, doesn't have any LED at all in the rear tail lights, so we were able to mount 2 hideaways, a full amber set up in the turn signal and a full white set down in the reverse. We alternate those hideaways, and we have a nice X pattern going, but you can see what a good job you can get from that upper hideaway in the turn signal portion. Working our way around the back of the truck, you might notice 2 of our windshield lights mounted in the back window vertically. Now, we use this often, especially with a sliding rear window, to avoid interference with that. Now, this truck doesn't have a sliding rear window, but we still went with the 2 vertical mounted lights to keep nice clear vision out of the back window. And they do come with a cigarette lighter cord. You can remove that cigarette cord and synchronize them if you'd like these are synchronized, or let them run wild. It's totally up to you. But that is our windshield light that comes with either a bail bracket mount or a suction cup mount, and you're using the bail bracket mount that's included on this application. Alrighty, working our way around the back of the truck, you can see those hideaways, upper set amber, lower set white, set up in an X pattern, but you can choose your own however you like, and that is also, you can get a different color hideaway if you wanted a green or a red or something different. You don't need to do amber or white. This is what we used on this package. Feel free to make your own choice. Now, this build was relatively simple. I'll go over to wiring real quick and tell you how I did this package and what's going to come with this kit. And feel free to make modifications. If you have some more ideas or you want to add some things, go right ahead. But this is how I'm going to set up everything if you were to do this truck again, identically the same. Alrighty, let's start talking about the hideaways in the rear taillights. Electrically, we joined the modules together and synchronized them behind the driver's taillight, and we went with a 16-2 wire from the driver's taillight, just a power and a ground, forward all the way to our switches underneath the dashboard. There is a grommet in the floor where the emergency brake cable used to go through by the driver's left foot. Now it's electric, so you have a nice rubber plug to get that wire right up into the cabin of the truck. So that's some 16.2 from the driver's taillight all the way forward, coming into the driver's fender by the driver's left foot. We did the same thing with the rear window windshield lights. We brought that wiring across the rear seat, tucked it all in behind the panels, joined them together, synchronized them, and went with a 16.2 from there forward to the switch as well. So we're going to give you 15 feet of 16.2. That's going to be enough to get you from the back forward as well as from the windshield light forward, and it's also going to give you a little bit extra to go from the battery to the switch as well. We're going to run a 16.2 from the battery, power ground. We're going to put a fuse kit in there. That's going to come forward all the way inside to the switch, and the 16.2 will come out of the switch and go to the rear window and another one to the rear hideaway sets behind the driver's tail. Now, the other lights that we have are these M-Powers. We extended each of these 4 M-Powers individually with our 22-5 wire. We brought all those wires together behind our switch and made our synchronization and pattern selection and everything else right there behind the switch. So I'm going to put another 50 feet of 22-5 wire to extend these 4 M-Power lights, and you're basically just going to bring them all right through the firewall, through the factory boot, or you can use a 3/4 grommet if you prefer to drill a hole. And behind the switch, synchronize and select your patterns and join your powers and grounds with the power and grounds from the rear, and you can switch everything on one simple rocker switch. Here's where we mounted our 3/4 rocker switch right above the headlight switch there. You can drill in the 3/4 and it mounts quite nicely. You can also remove that side panel right there very easily and remove the headlight switch to access the wiring and, get your terminals straightened out and everything. It's a very easy mount to use. And with a 3/4 full illumination switch, as we pan back, you can see it's within a very nice view of the driver, so you won't be driving around with your lights on and not realize it. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just go ahead and drop an email or a comment. This is the instruction for this kit. This is all there is this video. So if you have any questions about anything else, make sure to email us before you purchase. But if you like what you saw and you're with me so far as how it installs, and you followed the link for the badge light video that we posted earlier, go ahead and order and enjoy the kit. Any questions, drop an email over to us. And thanks again for watching Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, wave runners, jet skis, hoverboards, and 2022 F-150 XL beautiful Coyote-powered trucks.